Bueno, ¿qué tal a todos? Bienvenidos una vez más a El Cuartel del Metal. Mi nombre es Federico Solari, espero que estén muy bien. El día de hoy un invitado de lujo, el señor Robb Flynn, de Machine Head, para hablar de su nuevo disco of Kingdom and Crown. Rob, a great pleasure having you here today. Hope everything's well around there.
How you doing, Federico?
Doing great. Thank you very much for your time, first of all. We're here to discuss a brand new Machine Head album coming up of Kingdom and Crown. I wanted to address a couple of things you've been doing a lot, especially during the pandemic, before getting into the record. First of all, the electric and acoustic happy hours. What was that like for you? I mean, of course, a lot of time without playing music live, getting in touch with your fans. How was it like for you?
It was killer. I mean, I really enjoyed the. I mean, it was such a culture shock to go from being, we were on tour for the Burn My Eyes 25th anniversary. We did Europe, and we were just getting ready to come down to South America, and then the pandemic hit, and the world shut down, and
Man,
I was like, I've got to play music. I've got to do something here. And so, this is my studio where I'm at. And I just started coming down here. And, I had already been doing Facebook Lives weekly anyway on Friday. Like, I'd already had a weekly Facebook Live that I just was me talking to the fans. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just go down and drink some beer and play some
cool.
acoustic songs. And, it's probably going to be loose and fast and fun. But, um, I really enjoyed it, and then it just kind of evolved. Like it just, once Jared couldn't come in for the first 6 months because everything was locked down, but the building owner let me come in because it's my studio, and uh, and then after things opened up, Jared started coming down, and then we just started. Now it's kind of turned into a thing. Like, we have like, Matt recorded all the drum tracks. I've got like a 3-person crew, camera guy, sound guy, lot. It's kind of involved, and it's
Awesome.
great. Like, we get like 1,000 to 2,000
Man,
people on average. It's on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live. Yeah, and then it gets, it lives on YouTube and gets, 10, 15,000, 20,000 views. Some of them, the
nice.
big album playthroughs get, like 60,000 views. So it's pretty killer, man.
Yeah,
It
man,
was a
that's
great way
awesome.
to stay. We did every single album on its anniversary. We've done a playthrough. Like, this is stuff that we never would have done on tour. You know what I mean? Like, we never
Absolutely.
would have done anything like this. So it's been fun.
Oh, great. Congratulations on that. Great results for sure. And second of all, I wanted to comment briefly on the No Fucking Regrets podcast. I'm a follower of the podcast myself, and that's been going on for quite a long time now. If you'd like to tell me a bit about not the conception of the idea, but more about the evolution of how you've evolved to, I assume, maybe enjoy it even more from time to time. Lots of great guests. How's that been like for you?
Well, I got to give credit to Jamie Josta. Jamie Josta, who has his own podcast, Josta Podcast, and is the singer of Hatebreed. Every time I was on the podcast, he's like, "Dude, you've got a great voice. You need to do a podcast." And I was, at the time, I was like, I had young kids, and I was, wife, and I was just like, I got too much on my plate. And then at some point, I was like, ah, fuck it. Like, I'll just give it a shot and see how it goes. And I lucked out. My first podcast was with, probably one of the greatest guests you could ever get. I got Lars Fredriksson from Rancid, who, if you've never talked to him, he's super funny, like really charismatic, just the craziest fucking stories you've ever heard. Like, he's a maniac, and it was great. And so I started doing it, and at first I gotta be honest, it was pretty rough. Like, I was going to venues and trying to interview a band like between sound
Mm,
checks, and like, which isn't too bad for like a print magazine, but like when you're doing a podcast, like a band sound checking in the background is a nightmare. And and then the pandemic hit, and everybody was stuck at home, bored out of their fucking mind. And it was like, hey, you want to jump on my podcast? And I was like,
right.
yeah. And that's to me like when the podcast really came into its own. Like,
Yeah.
that's when it seemed like, and then it became kind of long form interviews, and it didn't have to be about a record. It could be just about the person's life. And it was really cool. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it
I
a
mean,
lot.
I got to know a lot of musicians' lives, and of course, music, personal things, and it's a great content. I think I really enjoyed it, especially during the pandemic as well. So, Rob, now,
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
getting into
Thank you.
the new record, let's get a bit into the making of it, if that's great with you. I read a statement of yours recently that you don't tend to listen to a lot of your old stuff, even though there are certain trademarks in the record that undoubtedly say Machine Head. What's it like to start working on a new album for you? You know, having all of this previous baggage of sound, if one could say. I mean, how do you start looking at a new record when it comes to the time?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of our old stuff. I mean, if I have to learn it for something, then I'll listen to it. But like I play it live for so many nights. Like we go on tour for, we tour hard. We play like 16 months, on a tour cycle usually. And so, there's no real reason to listen to it. And when I go into a new record, it's just kind of like, I feel like jamming riffs for a while. Like at first it is just jamming and kind of feeling things out and going, okay, this is cool. Like, let's see where this goes. And you kind of get like 3 or 4 partial songs together, and then things start coming together. And for this album, the starting point was definitely My Hands Are Empty. Like
Mhm.
once that song kind of fell into place, like I had written a few songs prior to that, but when that song was done, I was like, oh shit, like we're on to something different here. Like this is some
Nice.
new shit. Like we've never been here, and this is really cool. And I remember thinking, like, I was talking to Jared, and I was like, if we can build the album around this one song, like just kind of
Mhm.
expand on whatever's going on here, like this, we got something pretty special.
Great. And of course, when I got to hear "Arrows in Words from the Sky," there were of course lots of bangers in that EP. But personally, I think that when you released "Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate," your fan base went absolutely insane, extremely fast, thrashy, groovy as well. Overall, how are you sensing the fans' reaction to the music released so far?
I mean, I don't read comments. I don't go on, the YouTube and read any of that stuff. But I do have, my friends will call me up and be like, dude, the fucking reaction is insane. And, so I've got like a couple of trusted friends who will kind of give me feedback. I mean, even just doing interviews here, I mean, like pretty much every other interview that I do, the person's like, this is the best record you've ever done. Like, it's,
Nice.
it's, it's a good feeling, man. It's a really good feeling. So, super happy, feeling really good about it. I think the fans are going to absolutely love it. So, and I think once you hear the whole thing as a whole, it's rather than just kind of like songs, as is the typical setup of a record. You got to release just kind of singles. That's the way things are done now,
Mhm.
so yeah.
Yeah, it's a great record. I got to hear in full myself, and it really blows you away. I must say, it's a great new addition to your catalog.
Oh, thank
Regarding
you.
the lyrics, there's quite an amount of topics on the record, quite dystopian from what I read, but fictional characters as well, inspired in the anime series Attack on Titan. Would you care to shed some light, obviously kind of summing it up as much as you can, but what this whole concept is about?
So it there's a little confusion about that. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
about Attack on Titan, but it
Kind of
was
inspired,
inspired by
maybe. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, not even really inspired, but
Yeah.
I'll break it down. So the concept is set in a futuristic wasteland where the sky is always crimson red, and it's based around 2 characters. Character number 1 is named Ares, and he loses the love of his life, Amethyst, and goes on a murderous rampage against the people who killed her. Character number 2 is Eros, who loses his mother to a drug overdose, and in his downward spiral depression becomes radicalized by this charismatic leader and goes on his own killing spree and is one of the people who killed Amethyst. And so the lyrics detail how their lives intertwine, and the opening track, "Slaughter the Martyr," is essentially it's the origin story for character number 1. He's just lost the love of his life. He's in just a murderous, venomous rampage, and revenge is all he's thinking about. And so the story unfolds from there. And
Okay.
the part with Attack on Titan is, when I first started writing the concept, it was a very American story arc. It was good guy wins, and
Yeah.
I couldn't, I just, I wasn't connecting to it. I was like, it was good, but it was just not. It wasn't. I couldn't connect to it. Like I couldn't get any kind of emotion out of it. And then you know, my family, my kids started watching. I got two teenage boys, and they both started
Hmm.
watching a lot of anime over the pandemic, and we were all locked up anyway, and we couldn't go out. So, and I was a total, like, I used to be a total anime nerd when I was their age. Like, I was fucking
Really?
bananas about Akira and Space Cruiser Yamato and Robotech and like all these, you know, anime series. And you know, so to see it all, you know, to see them go through this same thing, I was just like, dude, this is rad. And of course, it's now modern and super bloody, and it was even better. So I was like, let's watch this together. Like, I'll fucking totally watch this with you. And so we started watching it. And, you know, one of the things about that particular series, Attack on Titan, that was, you know, the part that inspired me was in that series, there is no good or bad guy. You know, both sides believe they're doing good, but both sides are committing evil and atrocities. And, you know, for me to, that was like a total light bulb going off in my head. I was like, oh, wow, like I could maybe write it like that. And so then, here I am writing through, now I'm writing through not just one character's eyes, but through another character, the polar opposite character's eyes. And, you know, for a guy who's written 9 albums, you know, pretty much solely through my eyes, you know, my experiences, the way I see the world, now to have to try and write through these other characters, it was really cool. Like, it was really interesting, and it really, like, just made the whole experience just awesome.
Wow. Sounds like a really, I don't know if hard job maybe, but was there some research involved? I mean, was it all in your head? How was that, the more
It was
creative part
just
of
in
it?
my head, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I was lucky. Jared wrote a lot of lyrics too. Jared contributed quite a bit of lyrics, and we bounced a
Mhm.
lot of ideas off of each other. Um, you know, he came up with some great melodies, some great lyrics, but you know, it really was just about constantly writing and just consistently waking up. You know, I'd wake up, you know, most of this record was written at 3 in the morning. Like, you know, I'm a total night owl. I wake up at like 3 a.m. almost every night, and I just do work or I write or whatever. So I just would set a timer for 20 minutes, and I would just write anything that came to my mind, like dumb shit, killer shit, you know, just, I would just try and make everything rhyme. I would try and make a sequence out of it, and then I would just go back to bed and then wake up and look at it the next morning, and then I would either sing it or try and mess around with it. And you know, I think just doing it, you know, kind of just chipping away at it like that every day just really helped the story come together.
Cool. Great to hear. Musically, I personally see some divisions in the record, maybe due to the interludes, overdose, assimilate, and terminus. Do you look at those certain tracks, or could maybe one look at them as kind of divisions in the album, or are there simply elements of transition, so to say? What's the intention behind those instrumentals?
Yeah, I mean, they're, you know, to me, this record's a really cinematic record, you know, like musically, lyrically, and I really felt it was important to have the story kind of move it along. You know, like it needed to be about the story. Like it couldn't just be about the songs. Like it had to be about the story too. And,
Mhm.
you know, having grown up on albums like The Wall by Pink Floyd or Operation Mindcrime by
Yeah,
Queensryche, you know,
that's
they
right.
did those little interludes that help bring the story along. And, you know, I was like, I want to do that. Like I want to do that with this, and just have it kind of piece together, you know, if there is a missing piece, the first break is about the overdose that, you know, sends this guy into his downward spiral, you know, and kind of goes on from there.
Mhm.
So, you know, I think that was pretty important to keep those in there,
Cool.
or to create those to be in there, I should say.
Absolutely. It gives that cinematic aspect for sure. Even many people have compared this record to be something like The Blackening, of course, a pivotal record in your career. The question is maybe, do you feel like that in a couple of years, this new album will come to be something like that uh, for your discography?
I mean, look, you never know what people are going to like. And, you know, I'm, I'm back every album we've ever made, you know, like we wouldn't have put it out if we didn't stand behind it. Um, you know, I think even when I look back at like when I was doing press for The Blackening, I was kind of like, you know, there's 4 10-minute long songs on here, and I hope people get what we're doing, you know, because I was like, I don't know if people are gonna get what we're doing. Like, You know, I don't even know if I get what we're doing on the Blackening. It's like 4 10-minute long fucking songs. Like it's crazy, but you
Yeah,
know, it somehow worked, and you know, people loved it, and you know, I'm confident that people are going to love it, man. I mean, I really, really, you know, like I said earlier, like so much. The feedback has just been so unbelievable,
hmm,
and you know, I've got a couple of friends who I really trust, and I sent it to them, and I'm like, what do you think? Like, tell me what you like. Does this suck? Like, is this killer? And they're like, dude, like you fucking did it, you know?
nice, great, and of course, I imagine the urge and the need to go and play all these new songs to the fans live. I've seen there's coming up a real kick-ass tour with Amon Amarth and the Halo Effect real soon. How are you looking forward to all those tours again? Of course, performing new songs. Have you decided what tracks will you play? I mean, how's that looking?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jared and I have been rehearsing. Jared and I live in the same city, so you know, we rehearse all the time. We've been working on the new songs, and I mean, like, I'm looking forward to playing every song off this record.
Oh,
Like, there isn't a song that, you know, I mean, some of them are more challenging than others, but you know, I'm just really looking forward to it, and you know, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the tour. Absolutely, like us and Amon Amarth and Halo Effect. It's you know, all arenas across Europe and the UK. It's going to be fucking massive, you know.
legendary for sure.
And we'll be coming to. I really want to get back to South America,
Oh,
man.
please,
Like
yeah.
I was very bummed that the Burn My Eyes thing didn't make it down there. I was bummed when the Catharsis tour didn't make it down there. So, you know, we got to get back and get down there to the people. And I'm really hoping to hook up with a promoter. I just saw Exodus tour dates,
Yeah,
and I just
November.
saw
Yeah.
some of the Cavalera tour dates for the
Hmm.
Beneath the
Yeah,
Horizon
they're doing
or whatever
roots
it's
here.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah, are they doing that too?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like they're doing a ton of dates, and that's what I want to do. Like, I want to do, you know, we've only ever done one headline show in Brazil. You know, we've done Sao
No.
Paulo. That's it. And like, it's a really big country, and you know, I think getting back there and doing, you know, multiple shows there. I'd love to do Ecuador. I'd love to do Colombia again, Costa Rica. You know, these are all places that we've been to Colombia, but we haven't been to the other places. You know, we've never been to Rio. Like, we've never been to Rio.
Right.
You know, I'd love to get back. You're from Argentina, right?
Buenos Aires. Yes.
Yeah, Buenos Aires, yes. Can't wait to get back to there.
Yes.
You know, but I know, but there's another city that I see a lot of people play in Argentina. That's
Well, here
north.
they play at either the north, Cordoba. It's a place that a couple of bands play. Also, some cities in the south at times. But
Okay,
normally, the last couple of years, every date has been Buenos Aires. You know, due
just
to
Buenos
the
Aires. Yeah,
prices and everything that's going on with the economy. But
yeah.
yeah, let's hope you
I
can
mean,
do a couple of
we had a
dates
killer
here
show in Montevideo in Uruguay.
in
You know,
Uruguay.
man, we had
Yes.
an amazing show there. I mean, it was fucking awesome. Like, I want to get back there. So, yeah, we're really, you know, we definitely want to continue doing the evening with tour. You know, 3 hours of Machine Head, and
Oh,
you know, really give the fans bang for their buck, and come down to, you know, come down there and just fucking deliver some awesome shows.
yeah, man. Of course, let's hope to have you here real soon. And yeah, it's been 30 years of career, more for 31, I think, for Machine Head now. You, of course, you said that you've done the Burn My Eyes anniversary. Hope we can hear a lot of those tracks here as well as the new record when you come to South America again. Certainly, lots of milestones throughout the years. Um, just to kind of round up the interview as well, would you say there's anything left for you to do, either personally or with the band? What do you think Robb Flynn's career still has to accomplish, if there's anything?
Oh, I mean, there's tons I want to accomplish. Yeah, there's a ton I want to accomplish. There's, you know, I'm still, you know, I'm still very unfulfilled, man. Like I really feel like this band could be, you know, way bigger, and we can put on some amazing shows and do some incredible things. And, you know, I think with this album in particular, I think it, you know, it could even be like a play on Broadway. It could be a comic book. It could be a movie. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, it could be an anime series. Like, there's so much rich content in this album to just, you know, dig your teeth into. And I no, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what the future holds, man.
fantastic. Well, Rob, I would like to thank you very much for your time again. It's been great chatting with you. Of course, everyone stay on the lookout for the new Machine Head album coming 26th of August. Well, any last words you'd like to dedicate to those Machine Head fans here in South America?
We cannot wait to come back and see you guys fucking make some epic circle pits and some raging headbanging thrashing nights, and drink some beers, man.
Cool. Well, Rob, again, thank you very much, and all the success for this new album.
Thank you, man. All right,
Awesome.
take it easy,
Well,
dude.
bye-bye. Stay safe.